Alright, so I'm in my Delica here, my L400, and I've come into a bit of a problem. Got my Kenwood here. It's nice, but I'm going on road trips and such, and I need directions. I don't really want a GPS, so I end up, in order to put my phone, other than this cup holder here, kind of prop it up, right? But it makes it such that when I'm driving, I gotta glance down, look at my phone like that. It's not the greatest, most ergonomic thing in the world. So we're taking care of that today. I'm getting rid of this radio. I'm putting it up here. What I got to do that is this kit off of Alibaba or AliExpress, one of them Chinese sites. I'll link it down in the description. I got a little radio. It's gonna go here. This is where the voltmeter and the thermometer and the compass is. Compass is faulty. Don't really care about that. And I got a new voltmeter thing figured out. So to do this, we gotta take off a couple bolts here. It's 2 bolts there. You just squeeze that piece off of there and disconnect these. And go ahead. This is just 3 Phillips head screws here. Take this piece off. Put those on there. Feed these wires through. And to give a little test fit, we'll take this piece here, and it slots in pretty well, clips in fine. It's not the most perfect fit, but we can fix some of that later. But end of the day, this is what we'll be working with. I want to put a little switch panel here with a voltmeter and such. So we'll have our radio up there, got all of our stuff there, maps, CarPlay, all that. So that'll eliminate the need to prop the phone up there. And it should look pretty decent while doing it. So in the package, we got a bunch of stuff. We got some trim removers, help you remove that piece down there. We've got this main piece, goes into the radio. This thing can actually accept a SIM card if you want, right in there. I'm not going to be doing any of that. I don't really care to have a SIM card. But this has all your connections for speakers and subwoofers, things of that nature. I believe your backup camera. I ended up getting the option with the backup camera. It's just in there with your wires and such. I'm not going to be doing this today because I'm redoing my hatch. I got a new hatch I'm fixing up for it. So I'll do it when I install that. It's got a GPS signal here. Not sure if I'll install that one just because, I'm not doing the SIM. Nothing. Comes with 2 USB ports. I see that there. Other wire. I think that's for the backup camera. Not too sure. 2 USB ports will probably run into here, so you can just charge your phone there. This is a 4G antenna in case you wanted to install your SIM card there. I won't be. This is your radio harness. Supposedly, it should just hook up to the harness that you got right in there. We'll see if that is actually true or not. And you got your microphone. You can take calls and such. Definitely gonna be running this. Love this thing in my other cars. So I'll probably run it just over here, or I don't know, somewhere in this general vicinity. We've got somewhat of an installation guide. It's not too in depth with anything. Shouldn't be too bad. So I'm gonna take this off and get my radio out, and we'll see what we're working with here. So I got my cup holder out here. It's just 2 bolts there and there. You gotta pop it out for it to work. I might end up replacing that with something, just block it off with a plate, because kind of when it's open I hit my hands on it when I'm shifting, but once you got that out, this should in theory just kind of pull out. We've got an electrical connector over here we're gonna have to deal with for the clock, but otherwise, on these right here, otherwise it should just pull right out. Alright, so I got my old radio out here. Took that piece off. It just pulls out once you get that out. I had a little bit of trouble with these connectors here, but ended up getting them. This one's got a little retaining clip. This one you just press on there. Blue connector here, just wedged a screwdriver right there in that middle piece by my thumb there. Kind of pried it out. I don't really know what it does. Hope it didn't break anything, but I don't think it matters too much. Can't really speak on taking out the factory radio because mine never had one, or not in my ownership anyway. So I just threw this Kenwood in there, but it's, you know, time for an upgrade. So I took it out, took the ground off of the spot I had it. I actually just grounded it right to there, that bolt right there. Maybe it was the other side, can't recall. But here's gonna be the first test to see if this actually is gonna work. I'm gonna take these connectors and see if it's gonna be plug and play into this Mitsubishi harness. If it is, looks like we're in for a time, and if it isn't, looks like we're in for a bit of a worse time, but we'll figure that out as we get to it here. Alright, so at that I'm done, you just gotta press down on this tab. Alright, so I've got the radio just ever so thrown up in there. It's mocked up and such. Put the keys in, got everything working along with the radio. This is this is quite the interface. But it's good to know that it's working. I'm gonna try and get some music going, see if it recognizes the speakers, all that works. We'll see. Alright, so after some fiddling, we've got stuff going. We'll see if we can play it here while recording. Just increasing the volume here. It's working pretty well. I'm pretty happy with this so far. Just get that going. We'll see if I can set up the Android Auto in this thing, but so far it's looking pretty good. Alright, so I've taken it off, verified that it's working and everything. The next step now is to route my radio cable and this wiring harness up through here. I don't know what that is. Up through here. So I'm going to take this box out. It seems like it's 6 bolts here. It looks like I shouldn't have to do this one. Just do 2 and 2. Or 6 screws there. And I should be able to just fish them up through there. Probably could do it without taking it out, but I want to make it easier on me. Alright, so what I ended up doing, I took the bolts out, took out this support, but I didn't take this out because it's connected to some stuff under there. I didn't feel like dealing with that. But just unbolting it allows you enough space to move like that, just enough to feed that under. Right under there, where my finger's at right there, and feed it under. So that's good, just making sure the wire harness is all happy, nothing's bending too much. It'll be kind of sitting like that. From here, set up the radio harness. I'm gonna start wiring stuff up. Everything should be relatively straightforward from here. I've got this fan. I've got to hook it into this that black connector right there. This has got all your connections for aftermarket speakers, subwoofers, so that'll be nice to hook up, as well as your 4G thing, as I mentioned earlier. I'm also going to hook up the USB ports. I'm going to throw them in, route them down to here. I don't know if I'll do the GPS signal. I might. I got Android Auto working, so don't really need it. If I've got GPS signal on my phone, I'll have it on there. The unit has a built-in microphone, but I am going to run this one as well. I'll probably just run it to here at the end of the day. It's going to be the easiest. So we'll see see what we end up doing. I've got for later, the backup camera and such in here that I'll run at a later date. And your 4G antenna I'm not running. But for now this will be that. Went ahead and put everything back in just to get a feel for how it's gonna be. This kind of annoys me. Like I said, we're gonna put a little switch panel there, so it won't be the worst thing in the world, but for now it is a bit annoying. I might just get another one of these boxes and double stack them or something like that. So I got all the wires that we need fished through. Shouldn't need that, should be these two. The next step then is put that on, attach that to this casing, attach the radio to the casing as well, connect all our wires, and we should be good. All right, now for your final install, you gotta grab this trim piece, feed your wires through there. So we've got the ground there to one of the mounting points for this piece of metal here. Like we got some bolts left over, so just threw one down right there. That's how we're grounding it. Feed everything through here. Next, you got to feed it all through the back casing of the radio. Then connect up your radio signal and your actual power harness. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and bolt this back casing to the back of the radio using the 4 bolts you took it out with. Then there's 2 screw holes here that you screw this down with. It's not the most secure thing in the world, but it's alright. It's got a little channel it sits in, so it'll be fine. And then it's got the clip, so you just push it down afterwards and it should be pretty dandy. So I've got it all installed here. I think it fits pretty good. I'd like that to go down more, but it's whatever. One thing, shoving all the wires down in there, getting it really dialed in kind of sucks. But other than that, it's pretty good. The one grief I do have with it is screen cover. You can't take it off once you're done. You have to take off this cover, which means you have to take off this cover, which means you have to take off this, unbolt this from this, then unbolt this back cover, and then this is 6 bolts in there just to remove that. So that's a bit of a pain. But otherwise, I mean, it's not too bad. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, it's automatic. You just gotta, or not automatic, but it's wireless. Got nothing hooked up. It should boot up here. It takes a minute. It's got the Android Auto going up. It's nice refresh rate. It's kind of annoying. It beeps every time you touch it, but I'm sure you can turn that off somewhere in settings. You can have your Spotify going and all that. It's pretty nice. Do all your different things there. Massive screen. Yeah, when you're done with Android Auto or whatever, you don't want to have it on, you can go back to your home. You can actually load stuff like movies and all that onto here, which is kind of cool, for when you're not actually driving and whatnot. You can have it just nice and calm like that. Yeah, overall it's pretty decent. Not too bad. Massive screen. I'd say that's a success. It's a total install time about an hour or two, depending on how well you know these things and how comfortable you are. I'll take it out in the sun here and we'll see how the screen does with the brightness. So we can see we're outside now, and brightness actually is pretty good here. Camera does a bit more glare than it actually has. It's pretty clear, can't really see too much glare. Still fighting with this screen protector. I've decided I'm going to try and just use some tweezers to get it off instead of taking the whole thing apart. But overall, no, I'm pretty happy with this thing. Its fit is quite good. It's quite snappy. It takes a minute to get going, but once it's going, it's, you know, it's really responsive in that. So, you know, that's not too bad. The sound quality is really good, arguably better than the Kenwood that I actually had in here, surprisingly enough. Overall, yeah, I mean, for a couple hour install, a couple $100, I'd say that's definitely worth the upgrade. For now, I've just got this bit of a gap there, but like I said, I'll be putting a switch panel in there, so it won't do much, or it won't look too bad. Alternatively, you could also just get another one of these boxes, or, you know, a doubled in box. Just get some extra storage in there. Do something 3D printing in there, maybe a little phone holder, who knows. But yeah, I'd say definitely worth it. It's not too bad at all. I'll probably do some more videos of doing the rear view camera and everything, getting everything set up there, but who knows. If you guys got any questions, leave them down in the comments or whatever, and I'll try and get to them as soon as I can there. So this is the radio that I ended up buying to do this. As you can see, it was about $270 all in. Took about 2 weeks to get there. There was no imports, tax, none of that. Just 270 Canadian straight to the door. I went with the 7862 model. I looked at this comparison sheet. Just looked like the best deal to me. To each their own. It just looked like the one I wanted to go with. And coming with the camera and everything was definitely a plus as well. We can see this is the before. I'd have my phone propped up just right there. Have to glance down for directions, all that. And this is the after. Just relocated up there. Directions are right within my gaze, which is quite nice. Overall, I'd recommend this. I mean, it's $270. I was looking at other options for double-ins and whatnot, but they were all more expensive and they didn't have the relocation or any of that. It didn't really solve any of my problems. But yeah, $270. I'd definitely say it's a good investment during your vehicle if you're not too attached to whatever you previously had up there. I know some of them have a storage compartment. Some of them are like mine, not too attached to that stuff. Yeah, just definitely a good mod.